Hey guys, welcome back to another video in the series of DevOps Project, and today we are going to start our first project. As you can see on my screen, the first project is multi-tier application. So we are going to go through it. We're going to understand what is a multi-tier application. We are going to consider everything, each and every aspect that is needed for this project, and we are going to start it from scratch and set it up. Before moving further in this video, I would like to request that if you are new over here and have not subscribed my channel yet, kindly do so. So without further ado, let us understand what a multi-tier application is. Okay, so any application developed and distributed among more than one layer is known as a multi-tier application. It logically separates different application specific and the operational layers. Mostly we use three-tier architecture. It's very common that you must have heard about three-tier architecture in the applications, and it's because it's very common. Any application that depends on or uses a middleware application is known as a multi-tier application. We can also call it as n-tier application. So these are credits for Microsoft. I have taken this notes from Microsoft website, so credits for them. And this is how a multi-tier application looks like. Now pay attention that not every application has to look like this. For multi-tier, there can be more resources, there can be more services, there can be less number of services, and more tier. This is just an example. So on my left, you can see there is a client, and then there is a firewall over here, and then there is a web tier. You can see there is a middle tier over here, and then there is a remote service data tier, which means a database. This is a cache. You can use any kind of cache. This is messaging. You can use any type of message broker. So basically understand it like this, that layers are a way to separate responsibilities and manage dependencies. Each layer has a specific responsibility. A higher layer can use services in a lower layer, but not the other way around. So tiers are physically separated running on separated machine. A tier can call to another tier directly or use asynchronous messages like a messaging queue or a broker. Although each layer might be hosted in its own tier, that's not required. Several layers might be hosted on the same tier. Physically separating the tiers improves scalability and resiliency, but also adds the latency from the additional network communication. Because if the if the layers are physically separate, then it can increase the latency because of network communication. A traditional three-tier application has a presentation layer, a middle tier, and a database. And you can see this application, this is having the same thing. The middle tier is optional. More complex applications can have more than three tiers. That's what I said. It can be called as n-tier application. Okay, so the diagram which this is about shows an application with two middle tiers encapsulating different areas of functionality. So that's how you understand a multi-tier application. It could be it's fine if you have not understood it, because the application we are going to take, we are going to discuss the architecture, and then it would be much more easier for you to understand. Let's move forward. So the installation that we are going to do today as a prerequisite for this project, the first one would be Chocolatey. We are going to install Chocolatey. Then what exactly Chocolatey is? It's a machine level command line package manager. After that, we are going to install Oracle VirtualBox. It's a hypervisor or a cross-platform virtualization software. We're going to use Git. It's a software for tracking changes in a collaborative environment. If you do not know what is Git, there is a separate course on this channel. You can go through it. It's a crash course, so you can easily finish it, and then you can come back over here in order to understand this. Then we'll use Java Development Kit, JDK, which is Java distribution, because this project would be Java based. Then we'll use Vagrant. So Vagrant is used for building and maintaining portable virtual software development environments that we are going to do in this project. After that, we are going to use Maven. We are going to use Maven because Maven is a build tool for various projects. The project we are going to use is Java based, so that's why we are using Maven. It's not like that Maven only builds Java project. It is built for other as well, but it's most commonly used for Java based projects. We will use AWS CLI. Not right now, not exact, but it's better to install it right now because in the future we're going to use that. It's a command line interface for Amazon Web Services. Then we'll use editor as Visual Studio Code. You can use editor of your choice, but we are using editor for your code over here. And then we'll use Notepad++. You can use Sublime Text Editor as well, and totally your choice. It's another lightweight editor for your files. So that's what we're going to use today. And at the end, we are going to teach you how to create a GitHub account, because what I feel is whatever code you see on my repository is going to be very important for you in terms of future, in terms of interviews you'll give in the future. So you have to create your own account and you can fork that repository. Now I just want to make clear that the 100% code that you see on my repository is not 100% my work. I'll give the credit to the person who has created it from scratch, and I have made changes to that. So that's what we have done today. So let's dive right into the demo part. Okay, so go to your favorite browser and type Chocolatey, install Windows. So I have Windows 11, it does not matter, you can install on Windows 10 as well. So the first link, just installing Chocolatey, click on that link and it will open in front of you. You can scroll down, there's a lot of stuff that you can read. So the first thing is you need to ensure that you have an administrative shell. Okay, that will take care of that. And then you can install on non-admin, you can check out that, but we are going to have the administrative shell. And this is the node that you have to check. But just make sure that with PowerShell, you must ensure Git execution policy is not restricted. So you can bypass it through this command. So once done, then you have to move forward. I've already done that, so you do not need to know that. I'll just copy this, or you can just click on this button, copy it, go to start button, type PowerShell. Once you type PowerShell, there are multiple options over here. You have to click on run as an administrator. As soon as you click, it will open a pop-up a window. You have to open that. Perfect. What you have to do, let me just increase the size so that you guys can see clearly. I'll select 28. Okay, perfect. I hope you can see it on mobile as well. Perfect. Just paste that command, just copy it again and paste that command, hit enter. Once you hit enter, it will start installing it. It might download it from somewhere and that can take up to some time. So just be patient and let it happen. Once done, it will just install in your system. So using this Chocolatey, you can check the version. So type Choco list. Once done, hit enter and it will show you the version, which is Chocolatey v0.12.1, which is the current one. Okay, perfect. So I think this is done in front of you, then it's perfect. Now what we'll do is we'll just install everything using Chocolatey. So let me just clear this so that you guys can have better idea on this. Perfect. Now what we'll do is we'll start installing stuff. So type Choco install. We'll install VirtualBox first. VirtualBox means Oracle VirtualBox, which we talked about. So it will just show you something and then you just have to accept it. And I'll show you another way in which you can already accept it by giving -y. But right now you have to just give y over here in order to give the permission. So once you give it, it will start downloading it and then it will start installing it. It depends on your internet speed. So you can see the progress has started for me. It's 25%. I'll just fast forward it so that I can save you guys some time. Okay, so it is moving perfect. So it has been installed over here. You can see the install of VirtualBox was successful. So this is done. Now let us install different thing. Let me just cut this and you can just close it and open anything else again. You can, yes, you can just start it. Perfect. Let me install something else. Now what I'll do, I'll install some another thing. So this is Choco space install and then we'll go for Vagrant. Now I've already explained. Now -y will, it won't pop up anything. It will just take everything as yes and it will not ask us anything. Hit enter and then it will start downloading stuff and then progress is 1 to 2 till 100% it will go. I'll just fast forward it. It'll then start installing Vagrant, which you can see on the screen. It can take up to a lot of time, so just be patient depending on your internet speed. Perfect. You can see that the install of Vagrant was successful. Perfect. You can again close it and open it. I will close it, open it at the end. So do not have to worry. I'll just move forward and install the next thing. So the next thing that we have to install is, let me just clear this first. We'll just install Choco, install, and I'll install the git -y. -y is again for the yes command that you don't have to type, and then it will start downloading it. And you can see that by installing, you accept license for the package. This stands with every package that you download and install. Perfect. So it has started installing it. I have fast forwarded it. You can see git v2.35 has been installed. Perfect. So this is the latest one. Let me just clear this again for the next setup. Now I'll type Choco install. I'll go for, let's say I'll go for JDK this time. Perfect. JDK 8, you can see -y for yes. Hit enter and then it'll start installing it. Once done, first of all it will just download it, so which is fine. Let it download and it has been installed. This is not this fast. I have done it because I have just forwarded the video. Perfect. Let us go for the another install. Then type choco install Maven. I'm doing Maven -y. Hit enter. It will just start installing it, installing the following package. By installing, you accept licenses for the package. It will again download it and do the basic installation, which is approved. Perfect. Let it happen. And there is one another way of doing it. This is different kind of PowerShell. Let me show you something else. So if I go to community in my browser for this, you can find the packages from here, and you do not have to remember the command every time. All you can see, just scroll down and you can see the packages as you can see on my screen. Okay, let's just scroll up and search for some package. What we'll do is we'll do for Notepad++. You do not have to remember the command. Notepad++, hit enter and you can see that Notepad plugin manager, Notepad++. This is Notepad 8.2.1. You just have to install it. Copy this on your right, go back, hit PowerShell, and I'll show you some other way to do it. Okay, so there is one option of PowerShell IAC. So let's try with that. It's basically the same thing. It has a few commands extra. We'll go with that. It'll pop up on my different screen. Let me drag it. Perfect. And you can see the UI is a bit different. On right, there are a few options. We'll talk about that. Here, what you can do, you just have to paste whatever you have done. I'll not get hyphen y over here because this is one way and there is another way -y, which I'll tell you later. And you can see it has started downloading it 100%. Perfect. Install approved. Perfect. And this has started installing. Let me increase the size because if you guys seeing this on mobile screen, then it would be cumbersome for you to make out. Click on foreground, font size. Let me select the highest one, just this, apply. Okay, I think this is perfect for you guys to understand. And on your right, there are multiple options, so you can go through if you want. I think the size is too big, so let me just water it down. 20, I'll select 18. This would be fine. 16 is fine. Apply. Okay, perfect. So this is one another way of doing it. Let me just close this because I want complete screen for myself. Now there is one another way, Choco install Notepad++ -y, and then it will not ask anything. Okay, so it has installed. You can see that it has displayed the message. You can use either of them. I just showed you for the explanation. Now let us search for some other package. We'll go for Visual Studio Code. You can use anything. This is the first option. Perfect. Right side, you can see copy button. Click on that and just copy it. Perfect. Hit enter after -y and it won't ask anything. It will just start downloading and install. It can take up to a lot of time, and I think you already know that, depending on your internet speed. So I'll just wait for a while, for a few seconds, and then I'll just fast forward it. Okay, perfect. The progress has gone. Hashes has matched. Now it is installing VS Code in my machine. So let it install. We'll wait for it. I think it has been installed. It is saying the install of VS Code was successful. Perfect. I think that's what we need. Now what we'll do is, let me just choco install space AWS CLI. I'll tell you the usage. We are not going to use it immediately. We are going to use it, but a bit later. But let's say if we are using it for the timing, you can just install it. We'll be using in our future projects. Let me just expand it and installing AWS CLI. This is again going to take some time. I'll just fast forward the video for you guys to understand. I think this is done. AWS is successful. Perfect. I think we are done. We are good over here and we have installed it. Go to Google again. Look for GitHub. Enter and open the first link. Now there are two options available: sign in and sign up. If you have an account, sign in. Otherwise, click on sign up. Give a username. Make sure that username is different. Give an email ID which is not associated with GitHub. For example, I'm giving my ID. Give a password below and make sure it's according to the standards. Click on verify and answer the question. Pick the spiral galaxy. Click on spiral galaxy. There is one more to go. Again, click on that and create your account. So I'm not creating my account because I already have one. So what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll click on sign in. I'll give my LogicOps lab username and the password, sign in. Now I have multi-factor authentication. So it has sent 6-digit code to my email ID. I'll enter that and verify. And this is how a page looks like. So I hope you guys have understood that part. Whatever we have installed today, whatever account we have created today, do that. And if that's not completed, please do not move forward, because that's the base software that we need to install in our system. We have a Windows system and we are installing that, and you have already configured that in your system. Then only move forward, because this is very important. So if there is any issue, feel free to comment below and we will address that. So thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next one.